So this is workshop number 3, and I am going to talk you through the first module in the workshop 3 workbook. And module 1 is creating positive emotions. Now, for some of you, this whole thing about ideas of creating positive emotions and mindset can feel kind of weird. But when you understand how the words that you use and you can actually generate emotions. If I say I'm going to try to do something, try is kind of it's a wishy-washy word. But if you say I'm committed to doing something, I'm disciplined, I am determined to do something, it seems more powerful. It makes you literally feel more determined to hit whatever you've decided you're determined to do. And you can actually create emotions, but most people just take their emotions for granted and they just presume that they feel the things that they feel. But just like you can define the key values that you have in life that are going to guide your life, you can decide what you want people to associate with you, what your personal standards are. You can also control your emotions to a large extent. Now, if you heard my example during the training about when you're on a plane, or when I'm on a plane, because I'm terrified of flying, I hate that dropping feeling, I hate the feeling of adrenaline, there are only, certain limitations on being able to control your emotion. But certainly at work, certainly in most situations that you're going to encounter in your career, you have a very large amount of control over your emotions. So the exercise in the workbook is simply about how to define emotions. When you look at the list there, if you have your workbook open, you'll see there's a whole long list of different emotions. Happy, sad, people accept those things. But what about fulfilled? Committed, like I always tell you, is one of my favorite emotions. Accomplished, disciplined, loved, appreciated, proud, grateful, organized. After workshop 1, you should all be a lot more organized. Brave, content. Contentment along with acceptance are very good emotions to feel. Overwhelmed, frustrated, angry, disappointed, exhausted. Those are all completely unproductive emotions. You can choose to feel something else. If you're overwhelmed, guess what? You do a mind flush. And then you feel disciplined because you did the mind flush. You feel accomplished when you've prioritized your mind flush and you have scheduled everything. So overwhelmed, frustrated, angry, they're all pointless emotions and you can control them to a certain extent. So module 1, the idea is that you're going to look at that list of emotions. There's certainly plenty of other emotions that you can feel. It covers some good emotions, it covers some bad emotions. What I want you to do is go somewhere quiet, go somewhere where you can just think for a while and go through that list and think of all the situations where you feel happy, where you feel fulfilled, where you feel committed. Also, where you feel negative emotions, where you feel angry, where you feel frustrated. When you deal with one person in particular, do they always make you feel angry? Do they make you feel frustrated? When you don't get a parts order on time, does that make you angry? Go through that list and write out a situation where you feel each of those emotions. If you can't think of a situation where you feel that emotion, don't worry about it. Just move on to the next. This is not supposed to be, an exhaustive list. It's just to show you how you can create emotions. So once you've gone through that list and you've listed out a lot of different situations where you feel the good emotions and the bad emotions, I want you to highlight the feelings that you like best. Most people think they want to be happy. Happy to me is not it's a nice emotion. I like feeling excited, but for me, I like productive emotions. I like to feel disciplined. I like to feel organized. I like to feel committed. But for you, it may be different. But I would encourage you, if your goal is to feel happy all the time, go back to the truths that we accept in life, that life is not always going to be happiness. You're going to be happy 50% of the time, and the other 50% of the time you'll be feeling one of those less positive emotions. So don't chase happiness, chase fulfillment. So when you've identified all the feelings that you like best, go through and decide which feelings you want to avoid, the ones that you don't like. And then I want you to think about the things that you do in your average week. Just the tasks that you have to do each week. So a mind flush and prioritizing your mind flush. deciding your number one priority and your top 3 tasks, pushing back on all those people who interrupt your day, working on a task with laser focus for 50 minutes, or grouping together tasks that you don't particularly like, or something that you're resistant to doing, and you're going to plan it for the 50 minutes, or creating an action plan, or determining how you add value. There's a whole list of different things that you can do that you need to do in your week. There's also your regular responsibilities, like, invoicing or payroll or whatever it is that makes up for your day-to-day routine. So you need to decide which emotions which emotions you want to feel in each of those situations. And then I want you to think about the list that you created to start off with. So for example, when you are, working on a task for 50 minutes, you want to feel focused, you want to feel capable, and you want to feel accomplished. You can recreate those emotions. If you go back to the list that you did to start off with, where you're writing down when you feel certain emotions, look on that list and see what makes you feel accomplished. Think back. Was it when you cleaned your house? Cleaning my house always makes me feel accomplished. I don't enjoy it at the time. For those people who don't clean, think about something that makes you feel accomplished. Catching a big fish, you feel very accomplished then. Feelings are just emotions. They're just vibrations in your body. So when you feel accomplished, what does that feel like? Is it like a feeling in your chest? Is it a feeling of kind of like a warm, glowy feeling? When you think about situations where you feel accomplished, really focus on how you feel emotionally. And then when you think about working on that task for 50 minutes and you know that you want to feel accomplished, think back to that situation when you felt accomplished the last time. What about feeling focused? If you are like my husband, when he watches a movie, he is completely focused. Nothing distracts him. He's got that laser sharp attention on whatever he's watching on the TV screen. If that's when you feel focused, then you need to think about that emotion and channel that same feeling into working on your task for 50 minutes. So you get the idea. You're going to write down all the situations where you feel certain emotions, and then you're going to write down all the tasks that you do every day and how you want to feel. And then there's always going to be negative situations. If you know that certain negative situations make you feel anger, they make you feel frustrated, they make you feel overwhelmed, write down those situations. So is it if you're dealing with a difficult coworker or a difficult customer, what do you want to feel in those situations? If it's a poorly performing employee, or if you have to fire someone, which is the worst case situation, how do you want to feel in that situation? If you normally feel angry, frustrated, nervous, decide in advance how you want to feel. So if you're dealing with a difficult customer or coworker, think about being open-minded, thinking about being prepared, think about feeling connected so you can understand all the issues that they're going through. And then think about other situations where you feel open-minded. When your child tells you about something crazy that they did at school and you feel like you just have to be open-minded and listen to their point of view. That's what I have to do with my son. Think about that feeling that you get in a situation where it's easy to be open-minded, and then apply that feeling to dealing with a difficult customer or a different coworker. I hope that kind of makes some sense. When you go through the exercise and you actually write things down, it makes it much clearer. But you need to list out good situations, bad situations, situations where you struggle to find motivation, and write down the emotions that you want to feel in each situation. Then think back to the last time you felt that emotion, and then just try and recreate that sensation. And just having the awareness that you can control your emotion and trying to prepare for situations and deciding ahead of time what you want to feel in each situation will allow you, even if you're not perfect and you don't behave exactly the way that you want, and you're not recreating exactly the same emotion that you want to feel, you'll still be doing a lot better than you are doing now. So try it and just see what results you get.